in all tafasir.
Yes.
You can pick out single one volume, Mullah Ghulam Farid,
Yes.
5 volume commentary,
Yes. Yes.
Tafsir-e-Kabir.
Yes.
Everywhere this subject has been discussed in detail with due references.
Yes, sir.
So why to ask this question unnecessarily here in a forum where all those references are not available to me?
Yes.
So
Yes.
this
Yes.
is not nothing serious, nothing secret, nothing new. The question should be framed in appropriation to the
Yes.
situation and time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
One small question.
Of course you will.
The actions of man in the spiritual matters, for example, the denial of God and his messengers, can be partly blamed for satanic instigation. But
Would you repeat this, please?
the actions of man in the spiritual matters, for example, the denial of God and his messengers, can be partly blamed for satanic instigation. But in the worldly affairs, man does some actions with his own motive, will and power. Would Hazur most kindly advise us if the Satan could be blamed for such actions of man as fraud, backbiting, theft, bribe, or other criminal actions for which he is answerable in this world and on the day of the judgment.
It's a very new and interesting concept of crime and punishment which you have revealed to me this evening. If you think that those crimes, I don't say you have committed any crimes, but suppose you have committed some crimes, and if you believe that because they were instigated by Satan, so on the day of judgment I'll tell Allah, he's answerable, don't ask me, ask Satan for that. Only discuss my crimes, such crimes with me, which I committed without instigation from Satan. Is that what you understand is going to happen? And will that be acceptable to God?
No.
So if it will not be acceptable, then why are you entertaining such views here now in this earth?
I'm asking Hazur whether the ignorance of law is no excuse, as they say. So where the Satan comes in that.
You see, all the influences, evil influences, are symbolic representation of satanic instigations.
I see, yes.
But again, apart from that, there is a Satan in every man. The nafs-e-ammara, the evil tendency which is inbred in every person, that is easygoing. There are two paths, according to the Holy Quran, which has been created. At every decision making we stand at the crossroad of deciding shall we go uphill or downhill. And the downhill decision sometimes may not be a crime, but you will still be punished for that. If a student in his life, for instance, stands at the crossroad of a question, should I study some more or sleep? The sleep decision is the downhill decision.
Yes.
And study more decision is the uphill task.
Yes.
So if he decides in favor of sleeping, although he has not committed any crime against God, yet he has committed a crime against himself, against his brilliant educational future. So this is an unchangeable law. It works in every sphere of human activity. Whatever you do, you are always deciding, constantly deciding to do this or do that. And there is suffering in wait for you at the end of the tunnel in some cases, and suffering in front of you in some cases, but paradise at the end of the tunnel. So the decision lies between the choices of now or later. So this is how the Satan in man works. You can't escape the responsibility of any decision you take. Alright?
Jazakallah.
Now Zafar Sahib, Zafar Sahib nahi, wo Bashir Sahib, हाँ.
Assalamu alaikum, Hazur.
Assalamu
Sir, I want to ask you a question about prayers,
Yes, please.
which you tell us every now and then on a very, very regular basis. And before I formulate my question, I would like to quote the promised Messiah and Hazrat Muslim Maud.
Please go ahead.
First, Hazrat Muslim Maud, because it happened in front of my life actually, in front of me. When your very revered mother died in Lahore, and actually I was in government college in those days,
Yes.
and I saw everything what happened over there. And Hazur loved her very, very dearly. This is what he wrote in his article, Mary Maryam.
Yes.
And at the end actually he wrote, जमात ने उम्मीद के लिए इतनी दुआएं की हैं कि मुझे यूँ मालूम है कि अल्लाह ताला की कोई गुस्ताखी या नाराजगी ना हो जाए. Something like that he said in that article at the end. This is first reference.
So first attempted reference you mean?
Yes, first, yes. About what I want to ask you later.
First attempted reference.
Yes, yes.
Because unless I have that in my mind, before me what he actually said, I can't answer the question.
He said either narazgi or gustaki, something like that.
No, but how will I answer unless I have clearly in mind what he actually said?
So that article must
But
be...
anyway, try to build your question.
Yes.
If it has, it is possible to answer it without a very clear reference to this end of his essay.
Yes.
I'll do that. Otherwise, I'll tell you to wait until I can see that passage.
Okay.
You have in
And
mind.
secondly, the promised Messiah, in reply to Sir Sayyid Ahmed Khan's book Adwa was Tujaba and his another book Asul Tafsir, and he wrote in Barakat Dua, Prophet Sallallahu बल्कि बाज़ औक़ात अंबिया अलैहिस्सलाम को दुआ मांगने पर ज़जर तौबीह की गई है, चाचे इन आज़ो का अंतकोना मिनल जालिन इन हु टू प्रॉफिट नोआ, इस पर शायद है. इससे साफ ज़ाहिर है कि अगर हर दुआ इबादत होती तो हज़रत नूह अलैहिस्सलाम को वला तसल्ला लका भी इल्म का तर्जाना क्यों लगाया जाता. और बाज़ औक़ात औलिया और अंबिया दुआ करने को सूरह अदब समझते रहे, और सरहा ने ऐसी दुआ में इस्तिफ्ताह करने पर अमल किया है, यानी अगर मुसीबत के वक्त दिल ने दुआ करने का फतवा दिया तो दुआ की तरफ मुतवज्जो हुए, और अगर सब्र के लिए फतवा दिया तो सब्र किया और दुआ से मुंह फेर लिया. So my question is this: is there any benchmark or any lodestar which could guide us when to stop pray at a particular time and when to go on praying?
That lodestar lies in everyone. You don't have to seek an outside reference to that. The lodestar is mentioned in the Holy Quran. خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ عَلَّمَهُ الْبَيَانَ. God created man and gave him the power to decide. عَلَّمَهُ الْبَيَانَ. He has been provided with an inner system of taking correct decisions, if he refers to that system. So that is exactly what I was describing already. Many things relate to one's true intentions. One can say the same sentence with regards to the prayer with slightly crooked intentions. And another person can say the same sentence with very deep devotion and total submission. So the decision will not be taken by an outside agency other than God, or with reference to any other outside criteria. The decision can only be made within oneself. So that is why Hadhrat Mirza Tahir Ahmed has referred to the decision makers. Some ulama did this, some awliya did this with that purpose, and that purpose was good. For instance, in one of the poems, Persian poems, a great holy saintly man in Islam, who also was very humble and